Welcome to our channel. Here, we celebrate the inspiring journeys of Black celebrities, resilient individuals who have overcome great challenges to showcase their talent, influence, and lasting legacy. In our Then and Now 2025 series, we'll take a look back at the struggles they've faced, from breaking through racial barriers to establishing themselves in entertainment, sports, politics, and beyond. Despite the obstacles, they have risen with strength, sparked change, and inspired future generations. Join us as we uncover untold stories, pivotal moments, and the incredible evolution of these icons from then to now. Hit subscribe now so you don't miss out on powerful and inspiring stories of these legends.
It's just a little bit of money on me.
Oh, you do have money on you. Lord, have mercy. Where are you going after this? It's all 20s. Where are you going after this? What are you doing?
You know what we doing, what we plan to do, girl.
Sean Combs, the tumultuous journey of a hip-hop mogul between fame and darkness. Sean Combs, also known by names like Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or simply Diddy, is one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. From an ambitious young man, he rose to become a hip-hop mogul, music producer, entrepreneur, and cultural icon. With talent and strategic vision, Diddy built a formidable music empire, launching top artists like the notorious B.I.G. and producing timeless hits. However, behind the dazzling lights of success lay shadows that not everyone knew about. Fame, pressure, and the temptations of the entertainment world pulled Diddy into turbulent times, where drugs and a reckless lifestyle nearly cost him everything. Diddy's early career was far from easy. Growing up in a family that faced many hardships, he lost his father at a young age and had to carve his own path in an unforgiving world. His hunger for success propelled him to the top of the hip-hop industry. However, with fame and wealth came overwhelming temptations. The entertainment scene, with its endless parties, extravagant indulgences, and non-stop revelry, gradually led Diddy astray. At first, he saw it as just part of the celebrity lifestyle, unaware that he was slowly becoming enslaved by destructive habits. Drugs, alcohol, and non-stop partying began to take a toll on Diddy's life and career. There were periods when he lost control, putting his empire at risk. Scandals, personal controversies, and conflicts within the music industry followed. More than once, Diddy found himself caught in lawsuits and disputes, tarnishing his public image. He endured moments of deep despair, times when fame and fortune could not fill the emptiness he felt inside. But what sets Diddy apart from many others is his resilience and ability to turn things around. Realizing he could not continue down this self-destructive path, he made a decision to change. He shifted his focus to business, expanding his music empire and rebranding himself in a more positive light. He distanced himself from meaningless excesses, sought out deeper values, and gradually regained balance in his life. By dedicating himself to artistry, entrepreneurship, and family, Diddy emerged from the shadows of his past to re-establish his dominance in the entertainment world. Today, Sean Combs is more than just a hip-hop mogul. He is a testament to reinvention and sustainable growth. He has overcome his darkest times to become a symbol of success and resilience. His story serves as a reminder that even those who stand at the peak of fame can stumble. But what truly matters is having the strength to rise again and keep moving forward. What are your thoughts on Diddy's incredible journey? Share your opinions in the comments below.
Vacation. But Sadly, and you're saying, because Irvin did mention that he is very gregarious.
Oh.
I remember meeting him when I was a teenager at the airport, and he stopped and talked to me in the middle of the street at LAX. Like, where the car, in the crosswalk, he stopped and talked to me for a while.
That's who he is.
And I would imagine that that's annoying when you're on vacation.
Samuel L. Jackson. From addiction to Hollywood legend. Samuel L. Jackson, one of the biggest box office draws of all time, a man with an unmistakable voice and an unrivaled presence. Starring in blockbusters like Pulp Fiction, The Avengers, and Django Unchained, he is not only a cinematic icon, but also a testament to resilience and perseverance. However, behind the unforgettable performances, few know about his dark past with drugs and alcohol, a struggle that nearly cost him everything until a life-changing moment turned it all around. Born in 1948, Samuel L. Jackson had a difficult childhood. Raised primarily by his mother and grandparents in a broken home, he found solace in activism during his college years, becoming involved in the civil rights movement. However, it was during this time that he also spiraled into substance abuse. In the 1970s, amid the counterculture movement, he experimented with various drugs and drowned himself in alcohol. Though he pursued acting, his destructive lifestyle kept his career from taking off. Everything changed in 1991 when tragedy struck. After a night of heavy drug use, Jackson was found unconscious in his home by his wife, LaTanya Richardson. That moment was not only a shock to his family, but also a wake-up call for him. With his wife's unwavering support, he was admitted to rehab immediately after. Battling through the painful process of withdrawal and recovery, he emerged stronger than ever, ready to rebuild his life from the ground up. Shortly after completing rehab, Jackson landed a breakthrough role in Spike Lee's Jungle Fever, 1991. In a twist of fate, he played a drug addict, a character that eerily mirrored his past self. This role allowed him to channel raw, authentic emotions, earning him widespread recognition and setting his career on an upward trajectory. From there, he skyrocketed to fame, taking on legendary roles such as Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the hitman Jules Winfield in Pulp Fiction, and a ruthless gangster in Jackie Brown. Now in his 70s, Samuel L. Jackson remains a powerhouse in Hollywood, starring in numerous blockbuster films that have collectively grossed billions. Despite his troubled past, he has never shied away from it. Instead, he openly shares his story, using it to inspire those facing similar struggles, proving that anyone can rise from rock bottom with determination and the support of loved ones. More than just an extraordinary actor, he is a symbol of redemption and perseverance. What do you think of this living legend? Which Samuel L. Jackson film has left the biggest impact on you? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow us for more incredible stories about Hollywood's greatest stars.
What kind of preparation did you do, Richard? Did you hang out with Ray Charles or what?
I'd like people to know my crotch is not on fire. No, I just saw the smoke.
Richard, don't you have an ashtray?
No. I went to the Braille Institute.
Serious?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, tell me more.
Richard Pryor, a comedy genius and a life of tragedy. When people think of Richard Pryor, they immediately recall a legendary comedian known for his bold, raw, and satirical performances. He wasn't just a comic who influenced countless generations of entertainers. He was a truth-teller, fearlessly exposing the darker sides of society on stage. But behind the laughter was a life filled with turmoil, marked by drug addiction, alcohol abuse, and erratic behavior that nearly destroyed everything he had built. Born in 1940 in Peoria, Illinois, Richard Pryor grew up in a chaotic environment. He was raised in a brothel run by his grandmother, while his mother worked as a prostitute. With an abusive father and an absent mother, Pryor's childhood was filled with loneliness and hardship. These painful experiences later shaped his brutally honest comedic style, where he tackled difficult subjects like racism, social injustice, and the harsh realities of street life. By transforming his struggles into art, he captivated audiences with his raw storytelling. However, success came with a heavy price. As his career skyrocketed in the 1970s, Pryor spiraled into a destructive cycle of cocaine and alcohol abuse. He became infamous for his wild parties, on-stage performances while under the influence, and unpredictable behavior that alienated friends and colleagues. His addiction cost him major opportunities, led to the cancellation of shows, and caused turmoil on film sets. The most tragic moment of his life occurred in 1980 when, in a cocaine-fueled haze, he set himself on fire. Running down the street while engulfed in flames, he suffered severe burns and had to be hospitalized. While some initially believed it was an accident, Pryor later admitted it was a suicide attempt in a moment of despair. This near-fatal incident forced him to confront his demons. After surviving the ordeal, Pryor made efforts to rebuild his life. He continued creating groundbreaking comedy, but his health had begun to decline. In 1986, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a disease that slowly weakened his body. Despite his deteriorating condition, he refused to give up performing. Even as his legs failed him, he remained on stage, determined to make people laugh. His resilience turned him into an enduring symbol of perseverance. Richard Pryor passed away in 2005, leaving behind an unparalleled legacy in the world of comedy. More than just a comedian, he was a master storyteller who fearlessly laid bare his struggles for the world to see. His life serves as both an inspiration and a cautionary tale, a testament to genius, self-destruction, and redemption. Have you ever watched Richard Pryor perform? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow for more fascinating stories about Hollywood legends.
In this group, since I've been in this business, you know.
Really? Gee, I didn't mean to pry, but since you brought it up, I thought I would mention it.
Pry, that's cute. That's
Yeah.
great.
They said that everyone was amazed at the absence of violence. It's become a cliche now about that big festival and about the others. Were you surprised at it? Do you think that?
I was glad. I was glad. That's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah.
Try to keep violence down, you know, keep it.
Jimi Hendrix, guitar genius and the tragedy of a legend. Jimi Hendrix, the name itself, represents not just a legendary guitarist, but also an icon of a generation, a free-spirited soul burning with musical passion. With his extraordinary talent, he revolutionized the way the world saw the electric guitar, taking rock music to new heights. However, his life was short-lived and filled with tragedy. At the peak of his career, Jimi Hendrix suddenly passed away in 1970 at just 27 years old, leaving behind an irreplaceable void in the music world. Born in 1942 in Seattle, Washington, Jimi Hendrix grew up in a financially struggling family. From an early age, he displayed an intense passion for music. Without the means to afford a guitar, he would often pick up an old broom and pretend to play. Later, his father bought him a second-hand guitar, and from that moment on, a legend was born. Not only did he play guitar left-handed, but he also developed a completely unique style, playing with his teeth, setting his guitar on fire on stage, and producing sounds no one had ever imagined before. Jimi Hendrix's career exploded in the mid-1960s. He quickly became a phenomenon with hits like Purple Haze, Hey Joe, The Wind Cries Mary, and All Along the Watchtower. His performances at the 1967 Monterey Pop Festival and the 1969 Woodstock Festival became legendary. leaving audiences in awe of his unparalleled talent. Yet, just as his fame soared, Hendrix began to spiral into a dangerous cycle of drugs and alcohol. The rock star lifestyle came with its temptations. Jimi Hendrix fell victim to pressure, expectations, and personal conflicts. He frequently used drugs to escape loneliness and mental strain. His performances became increasingly unpredictable, his health deteriorated, and his mental state grew unstable. Many around him saw that he was on a path of self-destruction, but no one could pull him out of it. On September 18, 1970, Jimi Hendrix was found unconscious in a London hotel room. He had taken an excessive amount of sleeping pills, leading to asphyxiation. His death was a devastating blow to the music world. At just 27 years old, he became one of the most famous members of the 27 Club, a group of brilliant but doomed artists who passed away at the age of 27, including Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and later Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse. Despite his short life, Jimi Hendrix's legacy endures. He transformed guitar playing, inspired countless musicians, and his music remains beloved to this day. The image of Hendrix with his burning guitar on stage remains an immortal symbol of boundless creativity and freedom. Have you ever listened to Jimi Hendrix's music? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to follow for more fascinating stories about music legends.
No way.
That it's because of drugs?
No. Now, grant you, I partied. But there have been times when I know I was going through a lot of emotional stress, and my eating habits were awful.
Whitney dying, crack rehab.
Whitney Houston, the music legend and the tragedy of her life. Whitney Houston, golden voice of the music world, a woman who sold over 220 million records and delivered countless timeless hits. With her powerful vocals and unmatched stage presence, she captivated millions of hearts worldwide. But behind the spotlight, Whitney's life was a series of tragedies, where fame and the pressures of the music industry led her down the path of addiction. Sadly, the legendary singer passed away in 2012, leaving an irreplaceable void in the hearts of her fans. Born into a family with a rich musical heritage, Whitney was the daughter of renowned gospel singer Cissy Houston and a cousin of legendary diva Dionne Warwick. From an early age, she displayed extraordinary talent, quickly rising to become one of the biggest pop stars of the 1980s and 1990s. Songs like I Will Always Love You, Greatest Love of All, and I Wanna Dance with Somebody not only propelled her to global stardom, but also cemented her place among the greatest artists of all time. However, behind her angelic voice was a painful internal battle that few truly understood. Whitney Houston's career began to decline in the late 1990s as she struggled with serious personal issues. The overwhelming pressures of fame, the relentless expectations of the public, and turmoil in her personal life led her to turn to drugs as an escape. Her turbulent marriage to singer Bobby Brown further fueled her downward spiral. The following years saw a deteriorating Whitney, once radiant and full of life, now frail and struggling, frequently appearing exhausted and out of control. Despite multiple attempts at rehabilitation, Whitney Houston never fully escaped the grip of addiction. Every time she tried to make a comeback, the lure of substances dragged her back down. Her once glorious voice, often described as a gift from God, began to lose its clarity and strength. Erratic public appearances, canceled performances, and tabloid scandals only deepened the heartbreak for fans who had once adored her. On February 11, 2012, the music world was devastated when Whitney Houston was found unresponsive in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, just hours before she was set to attend a major music event. An investigation later revealed she had drowned, with traces of cocaine and other substances in her system. Her sudden passing was not just a tremendous loss to the music industry, but also a sobering reminder of the dark side of fame. Do you feel a sense of sorrow for this legendary artist's fate? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
You know, I do it all.
You're one of the busiest guests I've ever had on here.
I try, man. You know, I've been blessed. You know, so, you got to strike it while it's hot, so.
Playing Omar, as you were sort of, for a lot of people, the breakout character of what was already a tremendous show, did that change your life, playing Omar?
Yeah, it did. It put me on the radar a little bit. It was my breakout role, basically. It definitely changed.
Michael K. Williams, extraordinary talent and the tragedy behind the spotlight. Michael K. Williams, a gifted actor best known for his unforgettable portrayal of Omar Little in The Wire, was more than just a screen icon. He was a man of depth and complexity, both in his performances and in his personal life. With raw, emotional acting, he brought characters to life in a way that resonated deeply with audiences. However, behind the glamour of Hollywood and the admiration of his peers, he fought a long and difficult battle with his inner demons. That struggle ended in tragedy in 2021, when he passed away at the age of 54 from a drug overdose, leaving fans heartbroken. Born in 1966 in Brooklyn, New York, Michael K. Williams grew up in a challenging environment. The temptations of street life were ever present, but his love for the arts gave him a way out. Before acting, he worked as a dancer, and the most recognizable feature of his face, a long scar running down the side, became a defining part of his identity. That scar, the result of a bar fight in his early 20s, gave him a rugged, distinctive look that helped him land complex roles depicting the raw realities of life on the margins of society. Michael K. Williams' breakout role came with The Wire, widely considered one of the greatest television series of all time. As Omar Little, he portrayed a streetwise, code-driven outlaw who refused to submit to any authority. Omar was not a one-dimensional villain, but a deeply layered character with his own moral compass. This role catapulted Williams to fame, but it also came with overwhelming pressure. He later admitted that during the filming of The Wire, he struggled with drug addiction and found it difficult to separate himself from the character he played. Despite his personal battles, Williams continued to build an impressive career. He delivered powerful performances in acclaimed productions such as Boardwalk Empire, Lovecraft Country, 12 Years a Slave, and When They See Us. Even in minor roles, his presence was unforgettable, as he brought a level of depth and emotion few actors could match. Yet, beneath his success, he continued to grapple with the trauma and struggles of his past. On September 6, 2021, the entertainment industry was devastated by the news of Williams's passing. He was found unresponsive in his Brooklyn apartment, and his death was later ruled as an overdose caused by a lethal mix of drugs, including fentanyl, a highly dangerous opioid. His tragic death once again highlighted the opioid crisis ravaging the United States, claiming lives regardless of status or fame. Although Michael K. Williams is gone, his legacy endures. His performances continue to inspire young actors, and his life story remains a powerful testament to both the beauty and fragility of human existence. He was more than just an actor. He was a storyteller, an artist, and a man unafraid to confront his own darkness. Which of Michael K. Williams's roles left the biggest impression on you? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow us for more stories about Hollywood's greatest legends.
And I really wanted you to come here, and I thank you for coming here tonight because I have a surprise, but it's not time for the surprise yet. In fact, Guillermo, you can go get ready for the surprise, okay?
Got it, Jimmy.
All right, okay. We're going to do that in a minute. But first I'm going to say, we were talking about you last night. Mike Epps was here last night.
Oh, that's my guy.
And yeah, he told us that he was in Iceland on vacation looking for weed. And so he texted you and said,
Snoop Dogg, hip-hop legend and global cannabis icon. When people think of Snoop Dogg, they don't just see a hip-hop legend with his signature deep voice. They also picture an artist synonymous with cannabis culture. For over 3 decades, he has built a solid career in music, film, and business, while making cannabis an integral part of his personal brand. Unlike many other stars, Snoop Dogg isn't considered a heavy addict, but his frequent cannabis use has become an undeniable trademark of his lifestyle and career. Born in 1971 in Long Beach, California, Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr., better known as Snoop Dogg, was heavily influenced by gang culture and the temptations of the streets. However, his natural musical talent helped him break free from the cycle of crime and enter the hip-hop industry. In 1992, Snoop Dogg made a massive impact when he featured on Dr. Dre's album, The Chronic, paving the way for a highly successful solo career. With his laid-back yet captivating rap style, he quickly became one of the most successful rappers of all time. Beyond music, Snoop Dogg has been a pioneer in the legalization and commercialization of cannabis. He has never shied away from openly embracing his love for weed, making it an essential part of his public image. He even launched his own cannabis brand, Leafs by Snoop, becoming one of the first artists to enter the industry professionally. This not only significantly boosted his wealth, but also solidified his status as a cultural icon within the cannabis community. Despite his deep connection to cannabis, Snoop Dogg has never let it negatively impact his work. He remains a relentless creative force, consistently releasing new music, starring in TV shows and films, and collaborating with artists across various genres, including hip-hop, pop, and even country. One of his most surprising partnerships was with Martha Stewart in a cooking show, proving that his charisma and versatility go far beyond music. However, Snoop Dogg's open advocacy for cannabis has sparked controversy. Some critics argue that he promotes an unhealthy habit, especially among young people. But to his supporters, he is a powerful symbol in the movement to legalize marijuana, helping reshape perceptions of the plant. He has always emphasized that cannabis helps him relax and stay creative without negatively affecting his career or personal life. Regardless of the debates, there's no denying that Snoop Dogg remains one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. With his effortless swagger, humor, and constant reinvention, he continues to captivate audiences after decades in the industry. Are you a fan of Snoop Dogg's music and persona? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow for more stories about music legends.
Everything. I was like, yeah. She killed it.
I think I did too. Thank you, Your Highness. But I do want to say,
My cheeks.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Iconic.
But do you think that how do you feel when you see Halloween and just, when people will never forget the iconic outfits that you put together? I mean, you're a legend today. So how does that make you feel?
Oh my God, it's like the ultimate feeling.
Yeah.
Lil' Kim. The tragic, yet glorious journey of the queen of hip-hop. Lil' Kim, born Kimberly Denise Jones, grew up in Brooklyn in a turbulent household. Her parents divorced when she was young, and her relationship with her father was extremely strained. After repeated conflicts and domestic violence, she was kicked out of her home at 16, forcing her to survive on the streets. During these unstable years, she was exposed to drugs, parties, and dangerous relationships. However, fate led her to notorious B.I.G., who completely changed her life. More than just a lover, B.I.G. became her mentor, recognizing her natural rap talent and guiding her toward hip-hop stardom. Under B.I.G.'s mentorship, Lil' Kim quickly made a name for herself with her bold, provocative, and unapologetic style. Her 1996 debut album, Hardcore, was a massive success, establishing her as a trailblazing female icon in hip-hop. However, tragedy struck in 1997 when notorious B.I.G. was assassinated. His death was a devastating blow that left Lil' Kim emotionally shattered. She spiraled into alcohol, drugs, and an endless cycle of partying. Without B.I.G. by her side, she struggled between fame and grief, making increasingly reckless life choices. Beyond personal turmoil, Lil' Kim also faced legal troubles. In 2005, she was sentenced to a year in prison for perjury in connection to a shooting involving her friends. Her time in prison became a major turning point, forcing her to confront herself and reevaluate her life. She realized that years of partying and substance abuse had caused her to lose the brilliant career she once had. After her release, Lil' Kim fought to rebuild herself, releasing new music and appearing on reality TV shows in an attempt to reclaim her place in the entertainment industry. However, she never regained her former stardom, partly due to the changing music scene and partly because her public image had been tarnished. One of the most controversial aspects of Lil' Kim's life has been her drastic transformation due to plastic surgery. Once a naturally striking rapper with a signature look, she gradually altered her appearance to the point where many fans could barely recognize her. Some believe her extreme surgeries were a result of deep-seated trauma, from years of abuse to the loss of B.I.G. and the pressures of being a female rapper in a male-dominated industry. Despite the criticism, Lil' Kim has remained unapologetic, stating that her surgeries were not to please others, but to make herself feel better. While her career may no longer be at its peak, there's no denying that Lil' Kim is one of the most influential female rappers of all time. She paved the way for artists like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, revolutionizing the role of women in hip-hop. Her life is a blend of talent, resilience, tragedy, and questionable choices. But regardless of her ups and downs, Lil' Kim deserves to be remembered as a hip-hop legend. What do you think about Lil' Kim's roller coaster journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Our deepest gratitude. We want to extend our heartfelt thanks to all of you, our incredible viewers who have been with us throughout this journey. Your support, enthusiasm, and dedication have been a tremendous source of motivation, allowing us to continue bringing meaningful content that honors resilient individuals and their lasting legacies. Thank you for taking the time to watch, like, comment, and share these inspiring stories. Every view is not just support. It helps spread powerful messages of perseverance, determination, and unbreakable spirit. Stay with us as we continue exploring Then and Now, 2025. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an empowering story ahead. Thank you, and we hope you have a fantastic experience.